Hello, ladies. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing great. Let me get my video set here. Oh, gosh. Oh, I don't know what's happening, if you guys can see it on your end, but my video screen is doing all sorts of crazy things. It's going like in and out, like zooming in and then zooming back out. Y'all don't want to see that. I hope it's not super zoomed into my face. All right, so today's Friday Live is all about motivation, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's about your lack of motivation. So when you all enter your, answer those questions when you join the group, so many times I see people saying things like, I just can't stay motivated, or I lose my motivation, or I can't get motivated, all of these kinds of things. So I thought that doing a live today and talking about motivation might be helpful for a lot of you, because while I see motivation come up a lot as the reason for, or I should say maybe the lack of motivation coming up a lot as a reason for people not sticking with their goals, I kind of feel like that's really not actually the case. So I want to talk about this today. See what you think. You're welcome to agree or disagree, and any of your thoughts that you have at all, please feel free to put them in the comments. Whenever we comment on posts or videos or any posts that are in the group, every time you comment on them, that kind of helps bump it so that more people in our group see it. So anytime you want to comment on anything in here, please feel free. I encourage it, in fact. So let's get rolling today. So the title is Lack of Motivation Isn't the Problem. So like I mentioned a minute ago, I am constantly hearing people say, and not just when you join the group, but at the gym, at the grocery store, on Facebook, everywhere. People say they just aren't motivated to get healthy, or they can't stay motivated once they start. They don't know how to get motivated. They don't know how other people get or stay motivated, and on and on and on and on. Just that word motivation comes up all the time. So I'm going to argue, though, that motivation is not the end-all be-all that we make it out to be. So I looked up the definition of motivation. And what I got was, let's see, it says the act or process of giving someone a reason for doing something. Okay, so being motivated to get healthy means that someone, or maybe you yourself, excuse me, has given you a reason to eat well and to exercise. So that's awesome, right? That's a good thing. But what happens when you are given a reason to do something that is opposite of those things? So what happens if somebody tells you how good this cake tastes that maybe they brought into the office that day, and they go on and on about how great it is, even though it's not something that you've made fit into your goals for the day or the week or however you do it? What happens when your friends come and tell you how much fun it'll be to go out drinking and dancing tonight? They're not wrong. Maybe it would be fun, but if you know that alcohol is not going to help you reach your goals, is that something that you should be doing? So I'm going to tell you, they've given you a reason to do something. You have now just become motivated to do that instead of your original plan for eating and getting healthy. Healthy eating and exercise, whatever it is. So even though you know that that's not going to help you reach your goals, they have given you some really valid reasons to eat the cake, to go out drinking, whatever. So you can see how motivation is not really going to help you stick to your plan. It might get you started, but when you're relying on that motivation to carry you through, you put your trust into something that just comes and goes based on whatever happens to be happening at that moment. And that's not really going to help you long-term reach those goals. So instead of motivation, I want to encourage you to develop your discipline and your habits. So by definition, I went and looked this one up too. By definition, discipline means that you're going to train or develop by instruction and exercise, especially in self-control. So you're developing your self-control by instruction and practice. So in other words, you are learning the why behind what you want. Okay, that's really key. Why do I want to get healthy? Why do I want to eat well? Why do I want to exercise? You're really getting a firm grip and understanding on the why behind what it is that you want. And then there's also that why behind the most effective way to get it. So this is kind of twofold there. So when you have honed in on the really deep down inside of you reason why you want to do this, and then you fully understand the reason behind whatever strategies you have chosen to achieve it, then you are way more likely to oppose anything that's going to attempt your motivation. So I think that a big keyword in that definition there was the word developing. So developing in this particular situation means that you don't quite have it yet, but you're working on it. So you can't expect yourself to be perfect right away, right? This is something that you're developing. Developing means that you aren't going to be perfect. Don't put that pressure on yourself. You can't expect that. Developing means that you might struggle, but you can and you will get it down the line. We can't just give up once we struggle. So to train or develop by instruction and exercise. Learn about it. That's the instruction. Then the exercise. Now you got to go practice it. So this starts sounding an awful lot like some of the things that we do to build up good habits. So it's repetition, right? If something becomes a habit, it's a repeated thing. So that's same thing applies right here. Rather than motivation, we want to develop this habit through our discipline, then that's what's going to carry us through. So I want to give you an example. Believe it or not, some of you who know me might say not, but believe it or not, I don't always want to go to the gym. I love the gym. The gym is my happy place. I love all my fellow coaches there. I love our members. I love chatting with people. I love learning about what's happening in their lives. But sometimes it's just easier to stay home. It is what it is, you know. It's easier for me maybe to sit here in my office and get some work done. Maybe it's easier to hang out on the couch and watch TV with my husband or my son, or order a pizza and just chill, you know, whatever. But 9 times out of 10, if it's a day that I'm scheduled to go to the gym, I'm going to go. It might be easier to stay home. In that moment when I'm sitting there thinking, boy, I really wish I could stay home, my motivation to go to the gym is pretty much zero. But my discipline says otherwise. So even though that couch is far more comfortable, even though watching TV might be way more appealing in that moment, whatever show might be on, thank goodness for DVR these days, right? So I'm going to hit the record button and I can leave. You know, I go just because it's what I do. I've developed this habit through discipline. Going on those certain days to the gym, it's just part of my daily schedule. It's just what I do, and I can't really explain any other reason for it. I don't go because I'm like, yay, let's, you know, lift all the weights, you know, whatever. It's just, I don't know, I go to the gym today. This is just what I do. So the scheduling, so that schedule that I'm like, distracting myself. So that schedule started with my original motivation to get healthy, go to the gym, you know, do the things. So there was that motivation in the beginning. So that motivation is great to get you started. But in order to maintain it, it's got to go past motivation. So for me, it started with knowing that I needed to get healthy and I needed to lose weight. I guess it's probably been a while since I've shared some of my pictures from the very beginning of my personal health journey, and that's something that I should make sure that I do a little more often in the group. I haven't always been like this, and I didn't always look like this. I wasn't always a power lifter. I was a mom. I was very, very overweight, and I was in the high risk category of heart disease and everything else, which is the #1 killer for women my age. So that was a huge motivator in the beginning. I was very, very motivated to get healthy, very motivated to eat well, very motivated to get to the gym. But that can't last forever, right? All of us know that it's not healthy to carry excessive extra fat on our bodies. All of us know that it's not healthy to eat bags of chips every day, yet we do it. So the motivation and just knowing that is not always the case. It's the developing of the discipline and the habits. So here's a couple of suggestions that I have. And these are things that help me. Hopefully they help some of you. So once the motivation is gone, we've got to develop this habit. So first of all, capitalize on that initial motivation. So when you're feeling like, yes, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to nail it, this is going to be great, you have got to work super fast to get set in stone those really strong habits right off the bat. So if, for example, you're super motivated to be getting to the gym, then you have got to set up a schedule and a structure that you're going to do it. It's going to happen on the same days of the week at the same time on those days. So that doesn't mean it has to be like every single morning at 5 a.m. But maybe every single Monday, maybe it is at 5 a.m., you go to the gym. That's just what you do at 5 a.m. on Mondays. You go to the gym. It's just what you do. It's part of your schedule. It's part of your habits. You just do it. Maybe on Wednesdays, though, you can't get there early in the morning and you go after work. So maybe it's 5 p.m. on Wednesdays. So you see, like the morning and night, it can be different, but every single Wednesday, it's going to be this. Every single Monday, it's this. Maybe you're also going to go on Fridays after work. So you get 3 gym days in a week. Awesome. So you set up that structure. You can't be willy-nilly about it at the beginning. You've got to really work hard to capitalize on that motivation that you've developed or that you've got. And you've got to set up that schedule and that structure so it's something that's going to work for you. You might hire a coach or a personal trainer, someone who's going to expect that you're going to show up there every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. or whatever it might be. So you create these habits now. You can't be like, oh, no, I'm not going to go on Monday. I'll just go on Tuesday this week. If you start right off the bat getting kind of fluffy, that's not the word I want. If you start right off the bat getting kind of willy-nilly with it and not having that structured schedule, then once that motivation dies down, you're just gonna be like, no. I don't really always go on Mondays anyway, so I'm just not gonna bother, right? So you've got to start. So that's number one, is once you get that initial motivation in the very beginning, capitalize on it. Create that strong schedule that you're gonna stick to even once the motivation is gone. So remember, on Mondays, in our group here on Mondays, we do intentions for the week. So on Mondays, I will do what, on what day, at what time, in what place. So when you set that up for yourselves, don't just tell me I'm going to work out 3 days this week. When? What days? Okay, great. Monday. When on Monday? When do you plan on doing that? Right? So get super specific, drill all the way down to the small details. Okay, number 2, you've got to make it easy on yourself. When these habits and structures are made easy, you are far more likely to do them. So, for example, if it's to stop snacking on, potato chips or whatever, then when you go to the grocery store, as soon as you get home, the first thing you do is cut up your fruits and veggies. Clean them, cut them up, have them ready to just grab. Maybe you even at the store buy the ones that are already cut up for you. It costs a little more money, but it's done for you. And now you've got fruit and veggies ready to just grab and go. So getting to the gym, or even it's not the gym, maybe it's just a workout in general. Maybe you're going to go, run on a trail or meet up with a friend or whatever. Take those clothes with you to work. If it's an after work thing, then take the clothes with you to work. So they're already at work. The bag is sitting right next to your desk. All you got to do is put them on and you go. Okay, you don't have to tempt yourself by going home first and seeing that comfortable couch or whatever it might be. So you already just get the clothes on. I would used to want to drink a protein shake before I worked out. Oops, I'm getting a warning here. Hopefully you all can still hear me and see me. I just got a warning about poor streaming, so hopefully it's okay. But I would even take a scoop of protein powder in a little baggie or a little container, and I would take the like almond milk or Fairlife milk or whatever I'm going to mix it in a shaker bottle that I know is not going to leak, and I have that stuff with me already. So I just dump the powder in there, I shake it up, out the door I go. Already in my gym clothes, okay? So you've got to make it easy. So number 1, when the initial motivation hits, take advantage of it and develop the strong, structured habits immediately. Number 2, make it easy. Do whatever you have to do to make the decision to follow through on that habit that you're creating an easy thing to do. You can't rely on being motivated after work to go to the gym, right? How many people are like, boy, I just had a really hard work day. I'm exhausted. Let's go to the gym. Like, no one's motivated to do that really, but it's part of your schedule. It's what you do. It's in your calendar. You're disciplined and you do it, and you've made it easy by taking your gym clothes with you, by taking your pre-workout snack with you, whatever. And finally, number 3, try to make it fun. So if getting to the gym is your goal, again, that's sort of the example I keep falling back on, then you have to sort of cultivate that experience for yourself. It's not just going to sort of happen. So for me, when I went into the gym, when I first started, I was kind of terrified. I'll be honest. I was scared. I was nervous. I was afraid I was going to look dumb. I didn't really know how to do everything. I looked up every video on YouTube before I did it just to make sure. But as I got comfortable, and when you build that structure and that schedule, that you start seeing some of the same people over and over and over again. So I would get there and I would be like, oh, hey, you know, I could start smiling and waving at some of the people. And then eventually you kind of get comfortable. Then we start talking to those people. You start making friends. People notice when you're not there, right? And so gym clothing is another thing. Who doesn't love buying new gym clothes? I have all these crazy, ridiculous gym shirts. If any of y'all that know me at the gym or even see some of my Instagram things and stuff, I have these crazy shirts that I wear. It's just fun. I think it's funny to wear them. So I look forward to being able to go to the gym and wear my crazy shirts. Fun colored and printed leggings, things like that. So you create this fun experience for yourself to make you want to go do it, right? Good music on your gym playlist. That's another one. And then finally, as far as the making it fun thing, one of the things that people find not so fun at the gym is that they don't know what to do. And so they avoid it. But I had a structured program to follow. I knew what I was going to do. I had a program from a online coach that I had. And then so I knew what to do. I wasn't worried about walking in there and feeling silly or looking dumb. I had a structured program to do. I had my fun clothes that I really like to wear. I had a great playlist. I started becoming familiar with people and making friends, right? So you have to create this fun experience for yourself. So let me recap those 3 things and we're going to wrap up. Number 1, when that initial motivation hits for you to do something, jump on it. Create a structured schedule, not a willy-nilly schedule, structured. On this day, I'm going to do this every single week, okay? Number 2, make it easy. Take your gym clothes with you. Cut up the fruits and veggies ahead of time. Create a menu or a meal prep plan. All these things that is going to make it easy when 3 days from now, that motivation is just gone because you don't feel like doing anything. You've already got the structure set up, so your discipline now kicks in instead of your motivation. And then finally, make it fun. Find ways to enjoy it. So in a nutshell, wrapping it up, motivation is awesome to get started. It will kickstart you like no other. But you need to use that initial burst of motivational energy to create and structures to set yourself up for long-term success with discipline and solid habits, because you are not going to have motivation forever. So there you have it. As always, if there are any topics that you would like to learn more about, please leave them in the comments. If you have questions, comments, concerns, maybe I said something that was just super earth-shatteringly awesome for you, talk about it in the comments for me. That way this video pops up on more people's feed. And have a great weekend, and I will see y'all next Friday.